Joining us now is second-year pro Kennedy Burke. Kennedy, I always think back to just before the start of the 2019 season and the great fortune the Fever had that you became available and how significant of a moment that was for both the franchise and for you. And it's amazing to think you're already 2 seasons into this journey, and obviously the 2020 season was a unique one like you'll never experience again. But now, as you've had a little bit of time to look back on it, how would you describe it?
Honestly, the experience was just crazy and honestly unforgettable too. Honestly, we didn't see ourselves going into this bubble life, but I think we handled it pretty well. And then obviously as a team, we came late to the bubble because of like the whole COVID thing, and 2 of our players, tested positive. So we were kind of set back, but then when we came in, I feel like we were ready to go, even though like we had a couple days to kind of quarantine and everyone else had like 2 or 3 practices going on. I feel like we came in prepared. So, yeah.
There were the obvious massive challenges of the bubble and personal life and on the court life. But as you also mentioned, you guys were late getting down there. You have a new coach and not really any training camp. I'm pretty sure the Fever as a team dealt with more injuries than any other team this season. And I know you guys don't use those as excuses, but I think they're important to point out because you had a lot of adversity to face this season. What was it like just going through all of those challenges and trying to stay in a good spot mentally and physically?
Yeah, as mentioned before, like it was like a roller coaster, honestly. We didn't know what was going to happen. The fact that we had so many injuries going on in the season and the fact that we were kind of limited players at a time, I feel like we handled it pretty well. Obviously, we didn't know what was going to happen.
If you were to pinpoint one game that was maybe the high point of the Fever season, it also probably would come in the game that was the high point from you. Of course, I'm talking about that outburst that you and the team had against Seattle. I'm sure that's a fond memory. Can you try to take me back to that day and what it was like to be a part of it and have the game that you did?
Yeah, so the high point of the season, probably our best game of the season, the 2020 season, was when we played Seattle Storm, August 20th. And I just remember we were limited players. We only had 8 players. Tiff was out with her hands, but like we only had 8 players. So, I mean, coach just kind of told us, we just got to stick together. We got to play together. No matter what happens, we just got to move on to the next play. And I feel like we did that, honestly. And it was just a lot of fun to be playing on that day. Everyone was just playing free. We were playing together. I mean, it was just so much fun. And honestly, it was a game that I'll never forget.
I know one aspect of this season which was challenging was not having a training camp when you're implementing a new system. And I know at times you guys felt like defense was an area that needed some improvement as you hopefully get some time to reconnect and reconvene as a team once you get into 2021. It at least seems like the pieces and the players are there to be stout defensively. Tiara in the middle, we've seen what Julie can do and certainly what Erica Wheeler can do, and I think that's where you hang a lot of your hat on is your defensive ability. What's the potential of this group?
I mean, we're a young group, honestly. We only had kind of 3 vets, and then the rest we were all like pretty young. So I mean, we have so much potential. I'm really excited for this team next year because I know that we will be better despite what happened this year. Obviously, we didn't end on a good note. We wish that we could change some things as far as like the games that we lost. Like there are a lot of games that we should have won, honestly, but we can't really do anything. We can't change the past. So I feel like coming in next year, I'm really excited because I know that we're going to be like more prepared and yeah.
How powerful was it for you to have a major role, a major voice in a major movement? Of course, we're talking racial justice, social equality.
I mean, we say all the time, our voices matter so much. And we're going to keep on praising that, honestly. I mean, it's not going to stop because change needs to happen, honestly. So, I mean, everyone has to have a voice. We all have to speak up. It's really important that we have to vote because our future depends on it, honestly. So, I mean, our voices, people, like, we just can't stop praising, like, change needs to happen. I mean, like, I'm getting emotional because it's just like, it's sad that, like, what this world has come to, but I mean, it can only go up from here. So I think it's just like really important to keep praising, to vote and to use our voices and to have conversations about things that like make you uncomfortable, but like it's needed, it's necessary. So, I mean, I'm gonna keep on saying it too, like we all gotta vote, I mean, and to never be afraid to use your voice.
Could you feel while you were in the wobble the impact that you were having on the rest of the country outside of it?
Yeah, I did, honestly. I mean, obviously we're not going to get the same recognition as the men, but I feel like the fact that as 144 players on that specific day where we just came together and we postponed the games and we came to the gym and we were just like, we were all together. We were just, you know, we were just, like I said, we were just together. I mean, that was such a powerful moment in the 2020 season. And I mean, that was something that I'll never forget because it was necessary and the whole world needed to see that like we demand change in the world.
I think people are going to be remembering the 2020 season for reasons that have nothing to do with the pandemic or the wobble for quite some time. And I know you had a major voice in that and you know, it's really empowering to watch you and your teammates in the league as a whole affect the change that you did. As you look forward, and it's not an off season for you because you're actually coming to us from Italy. Can you give us an idea of how your playing career, your playing season really has not hit a halt? How's it going over there?
It's going good. We had our first game 2 days ago and we won. And like the crazy thing is, my team is called Dinamo Sassari, and it was only a men's team, but this coming year, it just became like both men and women. So like we literally just had like our first game as a women's team, and the fact that we won our first game, we had a nice crowd, and everyone was socially distanced, but like it was amazing, honestly. And the fact that we won our first game, and it was amazing. So I'm really excited for this team, and yeah, I'm just excited to travel Italy too.
I can imagine. That's really impressive and really impactful. Congratulations to you and your teammates as you go through this season and hopefully prepare for a 2021 WNBA season that's a lot more normal than 2020. What personally are some of your goals?
Just to grow as a basketball player, honestly, and just as a person, finding myself more, you know, just utilizing what I can do and like knowing that I can compete with anybody, and also like defensively and offensively, just having more confidence in myself, because there are some times where I do feel like I could be stand out more. So I feel like if I just keep praising and keep feeding myself positive energy, I feel like I'll be good for the next season.
Well, I know 2020 was a unique experience, Kennedy, and it was for the fans too, who had to follow you all from afar, didn't get to see you in person. What would your message be to those Fever fans who follow just as passionately, even if they couldn't be there this year?
I mean, Fever fans, thank you so much. Just reading the comments on Instagram and sometimes even on Twitter, like even though I don't have a Twitter, I'd be seeing like the comments and like the support you guys have for us. It means a lot. We see it, like we see how much you guys support us and love us, and like we really appreciate it. So hope to see you next year.
Well, Kennedy, we appreciate the time. Best of luck in Italy, and I know everybody's looking forward to seeing you back in an Indiana Fever uniform in 2021.
Thank you, Pat.